difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit.
So to me, this was the most important part of all of the hearing with Fauci today. Because bypass what vaccine does what, all that bullshit, because the science will forever claim whatever they want to claim. But what Dr. McCormick, who was an ER doctor during COVID, made a point. He was the one that played that audio tape of Fauci saying this. And that right there is the problem when we became a fucking democracy. I look at democracy like we're a collective, so we all have to do the same thing. See, that's not what America is supposed to be about. And Dr. McCormick, the very last thing he said, which was key, is he said, you took people's right to self-determination away. Self-determination, key. Because that is what America has always been about, which is why Ben Franklin had said, if you want to give up freedom for safety, then you will lose freedom and safety. You can't have both. And over time, that's what's happened. I remember in nursing school, I had to get vaccines. It got to this point, when it used to be the ones you got when you were younger, that was lifetime. Then all of a sudden they started doing this tighter shit. So then the amount of times I've had to get the MMR is unbelievably ridiculous. Either to have a job or for nursing school. And I remember during nursing school, I remember going in and I just was praying to God. Not that I wasn't vaccine hesitant. I just thought, my thought process was, how is this America if I'm being made to do this? Because I was always taught that America was about self-determination. And what the socialists love to do, the democracy people, is they love to make it about the collective. They love to make it about, no, it's for the greater good. That's not what it's not that America doesn't care about everybody else, but you can't have it both ways. You cannot have self-determination and be made to have to do things you don't want to do. So that would end this whole argument with this, because the science, NIH, CDC, they are going to continue to try to control people. They are. And until it is stopped, and the easiest way to stop it is to screw having I'm not saying not have the arguments about what vaccines work and all. I'm just saying that's not the route to go with trying. If we're under the Constitution, which the Constitution came before CDC, NIH, all their bullshit, all the science, that came before all that, then it's about self-determination. It's about independently being united, that each individual has a right to make their own choices. To have a job, they shouldn't be forced to do something. Because really, when I heard Fauci say this, I thought, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Because it was all about control. And I did not get the COVID vaccine, so I ran into some problems here and there depending on travel assignments. And I thought, damn you people, you're not going to make me do something. And yet these employers just think, and we can ask you to do whatever you want now. That's why I said, if you let these people continue, it will get to a point where they're going to have every female employee that's a nurse or a healthcare worker. Someday, you'll have to be getting a pap smear every 6 months. They've already taken it too far. They have. They took for what? If you think about the very first vaccine, well, that gave them all this control, right? Because that began the beginning of everybody needs to do this. So right there started us down the decline. And yet I saw all during COVID people saying, no, it's for the greater good. And of course you had Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon on CNN talking about having, that they should send us off to some camp, us unvaccinated people that we were, they were really damning us. And I thought, yeah, this is why, democracy sucks, because it becomes a collective. that you have to do it, and then people in the public start looking at you like, I can't be around you because you didn't get a vaccine. People were like that to me. So I mean family. Didn't matter if I had COVID, which is the best immunity. It didn't matter, because that's how much the science and this democracy stuff has wormed its way in, this socialism stuff. That's why I hate the nursing unions. I hate the nursing association, because they're all socialists, straight socialists. They expect everybody to think the same way, do the same way, and yet they don't even know how to do the right thing. But really, so exactly what Fauci said in that audio clip is the danger when you start going down the road of, we have to all do this for the greater good. No, that's why Benjamin Franklin, it goes directly to his quote. If you're going to give up freedom for some safety, then expect to have neither. You never give up freedom. So even if they, have this raging pandemic, because since then, what's come up in all these hearings is the gain of function stuff. Okay, and Fauci's never going to admit the truth to that, but they've been playing with shit they shouldn't be playing around with, okay? And it's caused more of these problems. But let's say, for instance, there's some raging pandemic and, 5,000 people a day are dying. You still don't give up your freedom. You don't, because you'll never get it back. That's what every single founder of America warned people of. Is that once you start giving up those liberties, you won't get them back. And we haven't. We've lost more because the public has become conditioned to that. No, we do this for the greater good. No, you let whatever it is run its way through, but you do not force everybody to do anything. Now, they've never really, they have forced it, because just like Fauci said, kids can't go to school, can't go to this college, can't get a job here. That's a tyrant. That's not for the greater good. That's sick and twisted. Fauci's sitting there trying to act like, he just, was trying to do what was in the best interest of the country. That's bullshit. He was pushing to see how much control he had over people. Do you remember double masking, how ridiculous it was? Double mask, and people did it. Because they wanted to see how far can we get people to go. How much control do we have? And they had a whole lot. So see, that's not what America's about. America's not about the greater good. It's not that we don't care, but it's about exactly what Dr. McCormick said, which was it's about self-determination. If you want to get that, that's fine. I'm not going to. When we as Americans can get back to a respectful place that, no, we should never make everybody get a vaccine. If you're that scared, then go to a country where it's socialism and they force their people to do everything. But then maybe you're too afraid to live in America. But quite frankly, we wouldn't even have all of these vaccines that would have been needed and all these viruses if we hadn't had such an unethical science doing all of this this gain of function stuff. And gain of function, again, is adding a function already onto a virus to make it worse. Fauci's trying to claim that, it was a spillover. No, they've been doing gain of function. This has all been uncovered before. So when Marjorie Taylor Greene goes off, and I see all the news media, the leftist jerk-offs, acting like she's so inappropriate. No, I feel exactly the way she does. She said it straight, okay? This idea that, I get that people say, we should be polite in hearings. Look, and not be personal. Look, these people have been so personal to Trump, I could care less what any of those jagoffs in Congress say. Like, they were getting upset with her because she wouldn't call Dr. Fauci doctor. Well, he hasn't acted like a doctor. He's acted like a fucking tyrant. He should be brought up on war crimes, most especially for his gain of function research. But the fact is, we need to get back to our Constitution, which means the science doesn't get to override that ever. Self-determination is what America's about. Dr. McCormick hit that right on the head. When Americans can get back to realizing that's what our Constitution is about, we'll be in a better place.